Mama?
Hi everybody, this is Emily for Help Me Mama, and this is Melia. Today we're going to be talking about how to get your 2-year-old to take a nap. And it's mostly some of the troubleshooting and tips that I have for 2-year-olds when they are going down for a nap. So the two sort of transition things you have going on with the 2-year-old, and it's not like right when they turn 2. Sometimes it's a little before, sometimes it's a little after, is transitioning out of a crib. So before you had your baby in a crib, now they're either in a toddler bed or a twin. I suggest skipping straight to the twin because the toddler bed stage is so short. And then also you have shorter naps. So you have shorter naps for a 2-year-old, or you have transitioning from 2 naps during the day down to 1 nap during the day. And that can be hard. So the first is the transitioning out of a crib. And for that, it's just a training process. You kind of have to hunker down and know that it's going to take, depending on the kid, I would say a week to a month. A week to sort of get the expectation to let them know, I expect you to stay in your bed. And they may not realize that they can get out of their crib. They may not realize that they can actually get out of their crib or their toddler bed or their bed by themselves for a little while. Sometimes it was like a delayed realization of like, hey, I can get out of this thing. And so you have to train them to stay in the bed. So I would establish a routine, again, if you've seen my video on the routines, the nap time routines, it's short and sweet, little book, little song, little prayer, little hug, 1 or 2 of those things, and then you put them in their bed and you give them the expectation. It's sleeping on ice time. You need to stay in bed, you need to be quiet, you need to go to sleep. You need to go sleeping on ice. 2 or 3 things. Nothing, like no long paragraph about what your expectations are. Yeah. So short and sweet. And then stick to your guns. If you said stay in your bed, you need to enforce that. There's no leeway on that. And I would say you put up a fight for a half an hour to an hour on that. Because if you give up on nap time after 15 minutes, they're gonna realize, I don't have to take a nap. Mom's not gonna make me take a nap. And they will fight you tooth and nail. But if you basically set aside up to an hour each day and say, they will learn to stay in their bed. And if it's a disobedience issue, which it is, you told them to stay in bed and they got up and played, or you told them to be quiet and they were loud. Once they are trained to go to sleep by themselves, you can hold them accountable to that. And if they disobey you, they've earned consequences for their disobedience. So getting them to stay in their own bed is a training issue, and you need to allot time for that. The next one is shorter naps and differing times of naps. You know how it is with babies. You have a 2-year-old now, so you know how it is. Their nap times are going to adjust. And as far as dealing with the shorter nap time, or one nap time disappearing, or maybe even both nap times disappearing, I would suggest make that your expectation so that you're not like devastated when it happens. And then, of course, be observant of your child. When do they get cranky? When do they need a nap? Maybe they're not taking... sometimes what happens is that they take a short nap, like at 1 to 2, and then they wake up, but then they're cranky in the evening. And sometimes that happens because your nap isn't late enough in the day. So if they took a nap at 2 or 2:30, they would take their 2.5, 3-hour nap, but they're not tired enough at 1 o'clock to do that. And then once they have their 3-hour nap, they're not going to be cranky when they wake up. So you kind of have to figure out, maybe it's a new time, maybe it's a new routine that will help that. And if your son or daughter is just taking shorter naps, it might be good to have a transition activity for when they wake up to help them out. Of course, you can always watch my video on waking up cranky. I do not allow my kids to wake up cranky. If they are cranky, they have not rested enough. They need to go back to sleep. But if there is sort of I'm still kind of tired, but not tired enough to sleep, but I do have a good attitude, that would be, wake up time is also a good time for reading a book or doing a table activity, like a quiet activity like coloring, something like that, to transition them from a 3-hour nap to, if they're only taking a 2-hour nap, that last hour where they're still, they've woken up, they're kind of calm, they're still kind of tired, not really ready to really play. That can be a quiet activity time or a helping mommy time when they're really more focused and able to be a helper. So I hope that has helped you. Those are my 2-year-old nap time tips, some of the troubles that go along. If you could please subscribe to my YouTube page, I hope that will be helpful and encouraging to you. And you can also check me out on Facebook.